We finally got the brackets revealed for the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Jeff Jarrett will go up against a wild card. Who's the wild card, brother?
All right, and coming up on the show, I've got a very important question for the Daver.
And on last night's AEW Dynamite, we had the most groundbreaking event to ever take place in AEW history. The Challengers won an eliminator match. What happens next? You better tune into this week of Grapple-Sauce, brother. Hit it, Dave.
Hey, the Daver here. Chad, I heard you got a question for me. What you got?
The question is, do you believe in Joe Hendry?
Based off him being the very first entrant to the Battle Royal on NXT being eliminated, I don't know. It seemed like a big deal. And I kind of heard before I watched the episode that it was a controversial NXT debut, and I think I understand why. They threw his ass out.
Yeah, but on the plus side, though, they gave TNA some shine, like Kazarian chucking him out actually plays into their storyline on their show, so that's pretty cool.
Good. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, everyone out there, believe it or not, I watched another episode of NXT.
Crazy. Can't believe these information that I'm hearing right now.
I might as well get a WWE tattoo on my ankle.
Perhaps. Can't condone it, but if you want to, it's your call.
Right. Yeah, I watched it. It was a lot better than last week, for sure. I didn't know everyone in the Battle Royal. That was the first match of the episode. Yeah, the people I did know, Dragon Lee, Ethan Page, Lexus King, Sean Spears, and Javon Evans, only because I remember him from the week before. But dude, yeah, that dude's really great. I think he's got a real upside. He's real quick, nimble guy. He's not the biggest dude, but he can move fast. So yeah, I'm really enjoying watching him. Yeah, and it ended up being Joe Hendry came out, did a little promo, talked some smack, and he said he's going to bring the NXT title back to TNA, kind of stuff you would expect him to say. I've never seen him before. I don't know anything about him, so that was a new thing for me. Ended up being the last two people left were Javon Evans and Sean Spears, and Javon Evans ended up getting the win on that. And a funny thing that happened that I caught that they came back to later, Ethan Page kind of got attacked by Oro or something. I can't remember his
Oro
name.
Mensa, I think.
Yeah. And just he didn't get eliminated. They were fighting and disappeared, and he never came back. And I wrote in my notes, Ethan Page never got eliminated, but they run that back a little bit later. So I'm glad they played into that. Yeah, then we had a triple threat tag match for the women's division. Some ladies named JC Jane and Jasmine Nix were teaming, and then we had Lola Vice, which I really enjoy, teaming with Roxanne Perez. It was kind of like, can they coexist kind of thing. They had their little promo beforehand, and Lola Vice tells Roxanne Perez, I'm not worried about you right now. I have other things to focus on, blah, blah, blah. And then we had, let's see, Metaphor and Vice. Is that right? I think a little sloppy writing there. but yeah, Roxanne Perez and Lola I don't know, Metaphor and somebody. I don't know what I wrote down here. But yeah, Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez get the win. Roxanne Perez turns on Lola Vice while they're celebrating their win. Even though they had pretty good chemistry, it was kind of cool. Then we got Ethan Page in the back whining to Ava that he was never eliminated. And Javon Evans walks up and challenges Ethan Page to a match in the main event. Ava's like, "Are you sure you just had a match?" He's like, "Yeah, I got this." Little foreshadowing, big mistake.
Perhaps.
Ava ends up approving it. Then we got Michin versus Kalani Jordan, her very first North American women's championship defense. Man, I just wrote down the announcer is Goofy. Who's he? What's his name?
I don't know. Let me look him up real quick.
Kind of had big hair, Jimmy Neutron looking. He wasn't terrible, but I don't know. I didn't really dig it.
Is it a man or a woman?
A guy.
Because this is bringing up a woman, but
yeah. They had a nice big introduction by him. It was pretty cool. But anyway, the Good Brothers show up. It was kind of a sloppy match, to be honest. That kind of goes back to last week. I'm not impressed with Michin due to the fact that she's been doing this on NXT for like 10 years. So I don't know. It seemed a little sloppy. I'll give Kalani Jordan the benefit of the doubt. She's a lot younger, a lot more green. But basically, Michin is going for a move on the top rope. The ref is distracted with some shenanigans going on with the Good Brothers and two other guys I don't know. And out comes Jada Parker, pushes Michin off the top rope. Kalani Jordan gets control and does her split-legged moonsault and gets the win, retains the title. I had really no doubt that she was gonna retain, but yeah, it was cool. I like Kalani Jordan. I think she's gonna go far. Then we got Ethan Page doing an interview. He's whining about the Battle Royal, whining about getting jumped. Calls out Trick Williams and Oro, boo hoo hoo. Just whining. Then we get a Hoba Femi promo. He's bragging about beating Joe Coffey.
Big. He's so big. That Obafemi, he's so big.
I'm impressed. I am impressed with this guy. He's pretty good on the mic too. Like he can do a promo. He brags about beating both those guys at one time. Wes Lee comes out. He wants another shot. Basically, Hoba agrees. So while this is going on, there were like actual fans fist fighting in the crowd that security like had to like it was weird. Like they're doing their promo in the ring and like the crowd just stops looking at them. Everyone looks up in the corner and there's like commotion and like literally in the shot behind Hoba, you see these dudes like blah, blah, like fist fighting and security is like grabbing them and holding them back.
Really?
And I'm
Wrestling's
like, is this
back, baby? Wrestling's back.
I'm like, what is going on? Is this part of it? Like, clearly not, because they're just continuing with their promo, trying to do their best. And, like, the crowd isn't even really watching them. But yeah, that happened. And this Wes Lee guy, man, he looks like a baby Anthony Bowens. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Little bit.
But yeah, man, it was pretty weird. Little fight in the crowd. Yeah, all the fans were just like, like, what's going on? After that, we get the main event: Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. Ethan Page just beats the living daylights out of Javon. He wins with an ego's edge. Sean Spears shows up and teams up with Ethan Page to attack Trick Williams, who was on commentary the whole time. Javon Evans ends up making the save. All men are laying down on the mat, looking hurt, and the show goes off the air. Not bad. I kind of enjoyed it. So the more
Cool.
you got a statistic.
I do. I have a funny statistic. Did you know? This is only like, I can't remember if it was Twitter or YouTube, so take it with a semi-grain of salt. But on Twitter or YouTube, and we'll go with Twitter, Joe Hendry's debut on NXT has more views than Osprey's, Okada's, and Monet's combined.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Safe to say, the NXT fans believe in Joe Hendry. You heard it here first.
I think I read like a week ago that Ace Steel is Joe Hendry's like manager or something now in TNA. Did either of you
I have
come
no
across
idea.
that?
I have
Yeah,
no idea.
Yeah, Ace Steel's in TNA. So okay, all right. Yeah, he must be a pretty big deal.
I know he's been in TNA because when CM Punk went back to WWE, a lot of people were like, "Oh, obviously he's gonna like," because they got together, and then it was like, "Oh no, Ace Steel just went to TNA. Like they don't need to be together."
Yeah, clearly. But yeah, man, I guess he's pretty popular. Has anyone checked the ratings? Did NXT beat Dynamite again?
I don't know if they're out yet, are they?
Usually they're out like mid-afternoon on Thursdays.
Yeah, I remember you used to come back from your first break with the ratings when I was there.
Yep. But I was come out like, oh, check it out. Yeah, now I'm curious, man. Is this gonna be 83 weeks long?
Perhaps.
But yeah, man, I enjoyed NXT. I'm not gonna lie. It was okay. It was okay. It's it's a little more amateurish, a little more small league, but it's entertaining. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna give them that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the more
they're leaning really hard into that developmental brand thing now. Where, yeah, some of the matches you're like, oh yeah, I can tell.
yeah, a little sloppy, timing off a little bit, but yeah, it was all right. I think I'll keep going on that. Just an hour long. But yeah, apparently there's a bunch of like dark matches and stuff filmed that don't make it on TV, because I went back to the breakdown of the show, and there were like 2 matches and like 3 backstage segments that they're telling me happened, and I'm like, none of that happened on what I watched. So yeah, I don't know why they would do the like interviews or backstage stuff for a dark. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but like there's some whole conversations that happened apparently, unless Hulu isn't giving me everything. Is that a thing?
What I would guess or what I would bet is like they're not TV quality, and so they're just like giving them the reps, right? Okay, go do a promo, go do a backstage interview, even if it sucks, whatever, we just won't air it then, right? Like that's what I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I don't watch NXT. Or if it's like, oh, we'll let it play off for the live crowd, and if the live crowd hates it, then we won't do it, or they know they won't do it. Like, I don't know exactly who they give them to, but the whole thing is supposed to be developmental. So
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that a little more and try to figure out, like, man, I don't know why none of this is on there. But yeah, does anyone have any newsworthy info in the wrestling world?
Drew McIntyre quit WWE for real though.
Really?
No, it's a bit they're doing. Basically at Clash at the Castle in good old Scotland, CM Pepsi cost him the world title, and I thought it was like everyone knew CM Punk was probably going to cost him, but I thought it was pretty cool how they did it, where like the ref went down because refs always go down in the WWE main event, and then the ref comes in, you see him from behind, they goes 1, he goes 2, and then he stops, and then he's just like, "Hi, Drew," and Drew's like, "Oh, I'm good."
Well, no, he did this, which in the UK is the middle finger.
Oh, is it? I thought it was also like I've screwed you twice now.
Could be, but the What Culture guys are like, just so you know, that's what this means in the UK.
That's cool too. So
Oh, damn. Yeah. When are they gonna have their match? SummerSlam?
we just don't know when he's gonna be like ready yet, you know.
Yeah.
But hopefully SummerSlam, because that's like 2 months from now.
Yeah.
And if he hopefully is ready by then. Hopefully.
Yeah. Maybe
amazing
he won't
heat. They don't even need a title. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe Punk won't get hurt on his way to the ring.
Oh, we're all hoping for that.
Yeah.
Me
No crowd
especially.
surfing.
Yes, that too.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh. Anyway, I'm sure all of us watched the Wyatt 6 debut.
Ooh.
I did not.
Oh,
I
I
watched
don't-
it enough
man.
times for the both of us. I loved it.
You did? Was it pretty good?
It was immaculate. And the whole thing was one shot. It was so crazy.
Oh.
It was a tracking shot through Gorilla, and then it like went through all the stuff, and then followed shoot, what's his Bo Dallas out? Wow, just like lost the name there for a second. And but yeah, it was one long shot, and it went through all the characters and all this carnage in gorilla position, and there was like a mist and like it was just this one long like minute and a half tracking shot. It was so beautifully done. Like that took some balls to do, because like live that would be so hard to coordinate.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
It's just got one creepy note. Boom, 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 the whole time. Apparently that's like the first note to Bray Wyatt's theme or something like that, Chad.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Is the first note to Shatter, which is his old theme. And yeah, like just like the masks that everybody had on was crazy. Like Eric Redbeard, I'm like, oh hell yeah, he's back. He was dressed up as Huskus, yeah, the pig. Then they had what, Dexter Loomis, was he the Vulture?
Mercy. I think that's
Mercy,
the
yeah,
Buzzard.
Mercy the Buzzard. Then Gacy was, shoot, I'm spacing all the characters.
I know what's her face was Sister Abigail.
Yeah,
Nikki
Cross.
That's who it is.
So happy to see her back.
Mm-hmm.
She's so good, and she tried so hard, even with that superhero gimmick. I was like, I love her, but this is bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really well done. Yeah, kind of broke the internet when it went down. A lot of things I'm hearing people say is it's like, okay, that was amazing. Now the follow up is the real test. How do they follow this up?
Good question. I don't have the answer to it because WWE can't always book spooky stuff well. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying
They've already said they're not going supernatural with it.
Okay, that's good.
And
Yeah.
Chad Gable's dead.
I don't like to see that.
Yeah. He was like the one thing you could see clearly. It was like it looked like he got shot in the head. He was just propped up against a case and there's blood dripping out. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, man, bodies just laying everywhere, fog, smoke. Yeah. They paid tribute to Brody Lee's debut in AEW, the way they kind of panned out the hallway.
Yeah.
For
But did you
Uncle Howdy.
see he's getting his own Reebok shoe now? They're doing a Brody Lee tribute shoe.
Yep. It's pretty cool, man. I hope they keep going. Do some cool stuff. Make some Reebok Hangman cowboy boots.
That'd be cool. I don't know if
I'd
they'd
buy
go
'em.
that hard, but it would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of shoes would you guys, if Reebok did a collab with an AEW, what would you?
Takeshita.
I'd buy some Sting Reeboks for sure.
Those would be cool. Those would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Chad?
Do like some cool like Samoa Joe thing. I'd probably be in.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
Something that would pair well with a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, there you go. How about Shane O'Mac is all elite?
No, he's not. Nothing's been confirmed. Not a thing has
There's a
been
wild
confirmed.
card spot in the Owen.
No, there isn't a wild spark.
It's
No,
where the best wrestle. He is the best wrestler in the world. He's got the trophy.
I guess. You know what? He does have that trophy, so you might be right. You might be right on that.
But yeah, we're just kind of going off of JR had mentioned on his podcast like last week that it wouldn't be the craziest thing or if it was done right or something like that.
No, I think he'd get booed out the building in AEW. I don't think they don't have time for his stupid ass.
Then we got Conrad Thompson saying, quote, there was a friend of ours, Thompson said, quote, I shouldn't say their name, but he went out of his way to text me and say, that's not as crazy as you think. I know for sure that Shane McMahon has at least reached out to wrestlers on the AEW roster to at least hypothetically discuss the idea. So it's not complete shenanigans.
But it is shenanigans.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. That was a pretty big news story going around. But yeah, man. Yeah, Drew McIntyre, quote unquote, quit. Got the
Mhm.
Wyatt Six, Joe Hendry showing up in NXT, and Shane O'Mac all elite, baby.
Can't have it better.
No. But yeah, you guys want to get into Dynamite?
Yeah. It's about time.
I thought last week was really good. I thought this week was even better than last week. I had a lot of fun. They kept the Jericho stuff to a minimum, which I think is kind of the key to this, for sure. But yeah, they started off real hot with commercial-free MJF versus Roosh. No commercial breaks. And kind of the reason why, for one, the reason why the match isn't going to be at Forbidden Door, Roosh has got that AAA affiliation, so he can't be on the same show as CMLL guys. So they wanted, they wanted to give us a pay-per-view quality uninterrupted match between the two on national television. So that was kind of the compromise we got. Thank you. I'm all for it. It was great. Yeah, man, really great match. Violent. Definitely MJF on the ropes for a lot of it. Fighting back. Starts off with a hot brawl. They're just going at it. MJF steps over Roosh and struts. Gets chopped for it. Roosh headbutts MJF in the mouth. MJF is bleeding. Roosh decks MJF hard. MJF goes down. MJF dodges the bull's horns. Then MJF gives Roosh a hammerlock DDT, covers him for 2. Then a spike pile driver covers him for 2. Roosh gives MJF a pile driver of his own, covers him for only 2. They end up on the outside. Roosh does what he does best and slams MJF into every barricade, gets him up against the barricade, kicks him in the head over and over and over. Oh, I love it. Violent stuff, man. Roosh grabs an extension cord. He whips MJF. But before he did that, he grabs a chair. This is kind of a quibble I've been hearing, and I kind of agree with it. The chair was just a red herring. He throws it in the ring for Paul Turner to deal with while he gets the extension cord, and then he proceeds to choke out MJF and whip him for like 4 minutes. Like, where was Paul Turner for this?
Distracted. He was distracted.
The chair
Like,
was really heavy.
It was. It must have been. But MJF does a drop toe hold to Roosh on the outside into a chair to avoid the bull's horns, which was kind of cool. Roosh belly to belly suplexes MJF off the apron onto the floor. Woo! That looked like it hurt. MJF counters the bull horns with a lariat as a last ditch effort. MJF gives Roosh a heat seeker, then a sheer drop brainbuster for the win. That seems to be his finisher now. Like, why wouldn't a brainbuster be a finisher? Like,
Right?
that makes a lot of sense, man. Bring back that old school, like back when Jake the Snake, his finisher was a DDT. Like, that's just a mid-match thing now. Like, it's not even
Transitional
a big
move.
Yeah, transitional move. It's not even a big thing anymore. But I like it, man. That heat seeker to soften him up. I do feel like the finish of the match seemed a little rushed to me. It just kind of happened out of nowhere.
Do you mean it seemed a little rouged?
Oh yeah.
Boo.
Thank you.
Possibly. But yeah, MJF gets the win using an old school brain buster as he's kind of not really celebrating the win, but basking in it. The Cage of Agony show up on the Excalibur is calling it the video wall. I guess that's their Titantron.
Big screen.
Yeah,
Big screen. Check out what's on
Yeah.
the big screen, guys. It's not that hard.
Yeah. And they're saying MJF will face Hechicero at Forbidden Door. Okay. Didn't think I wanted that, but now I know I want it. So that should be some pretty cool stuff. Kind of random, but
Yeah,
a good match.
MJF has 1 week to sell, and I bet you this time next week we're going to be like, hell yeah, he just built that match in a week.
Yeah. Dude, MJF is doing some really great work right now. Like,
Yeah.
all I feel is he's not, 100% stone cold, but he's got that vibe about him, but he's still that like lovable scumbag. Like, he's getting the crowd pumped. Boop, eye poke, dude.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of that whole
That was pretty
match.
fun. Yeah, that was my favorite part too.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. He is so entertaining. But yeah, what do you guys think of the match?
Oh, it was great. I love how MJF kind of made the promise, like that silly shit's in I'm done with it. And I felt like he still has his personality, the eye poke stuff and all that, but yeah, it was like the kangaroo kick and all that was gone, and he just brought like that. He had that killer intensity, like that Swerve was talking about later. Like, dude's an assassin now. I love it.
Yeah, it was a really good return match for MJF, and I'm excited for his match with Hechicero at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, me too. After that, we get a recap of Dustin Rhodes versus Jack Perry. Big bloody mess. Then we get a Renee Paquette backstage interview with Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Dante Martin, and Kyle O'Reilly. Mark Briscoe gives another promo of the year. Said, "You can't look at yesterday. Can't look at tomorrow. He said he got pinned last week, but it won't happen again. I got 2 words of the the word of the day is vengeance, and the other word of the day is redemption. I got 2 words of the day. He calls Dante Martin, hey, you get off my cloud. Freaking loved that. Jack Perry walks by, and Mark Briscoe says, get the hell out of here, Jack Perry. And then, Kyle O'Reilly's just, I'll follow that guy anywhere. Too good, man. They need to just be called the conglomeration. Like, there
Right?
should be a full blown faction at this point. It's good stuff. We got let's see, Will Ospreay and Swerve after that going face to face. Will Ospreay says the last time they were face to face in the ring, Swerve said he couldn't carry the weight of both worlds. He says he's very well capable of doing that. He reminds Swerve that he held 3 different championships on 3 different continents at the same time. So Swerve is going to find out that he is the best wrestler in the world today. Swerve says Ospreay already messed up. He's the best wrestler in the world. Swerve says they've taken different paths in the last 5 years. Ospreay holding multiple championships on one side, and him holding 2 different worlds. Wrestling and the entertainment world. Swerve asks him if he'll need to call Don Callis to help him try to beat him at Forbidden Door. Ospreay says he doesn't need Don Callis. He can do it by himself. At that point, we see Don Callis and his family backstage. They're like, what? Ospreay says he beat Omega, Okada, Shimano Uno, Jericho, and he says, bruv, while you had a hit row, I had a hit list, and I didn't miss one of them. Oh, that was a great line. Swerve should feel the pressure. He tells Swerve to be thankful that he won't feel the pain of the Tiger Driver 91. Swerve tells Ospreay he has to sacrifice the love of the business, his wife, his son. Ospreay interrupts and says, don't you dare mention my son again. Don't make this personal, bruv. Prince Nana pleads with both men to save the fire and all they got for their match at Forbidden Door. Nana says, whose house? Ospreay answers, my house. Oh. At this point, Swerve stops him as he walks away and says, let's see, what if I want to make this personal? Say hello to Al and Harry again. Ooh. Ospreay runs back in the ring and gets in Swerve's face. He is mad. Is Swerve the heel again?
Probably.
Yeah, man. It was pretty good. I liked it when the ending was really what got
I like
me.
I like how they kind of subverted that expectation. He's like, no, shut his music off. I'm not done yet.
Yeah. He was gonna make it personal. That makes it more makes me more invested for sure.
Yeah, I'm feeling the heat, and I don't know, 1 more week to go, so hopefully they keep adding to it. How do you feel about it, Chandler?
I thought it was a fine promo. I'm still not super jazzed about this feud, so like they didn't really sell me on it, but it wasn't bad. You know, they delivered their lines well. It was fine.
And I don't think Ospreay is gonna win. I don't. At this point, I don't feel like he's gonna do it.
I think he will.
Oh, man.
I think they're pushing him to the moon because he's getting such good receptions right now And I think this is what they think will be their big ratings ploy, is pushing Osprey to the moon. And it might work. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think in Tony Khan's mind, the vision of Will Ospreay either as world champ or a dual champ, I think he really likes that. So,
Interesting.
and then Ospreay and Pac at Wembley, that's a pretty good match to main event. So,
Oh
True.
man, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. For me, narratively, I want to see Swerve keep winning and get that huge win over Osprey. But I mean, Tony Khan is an analytics guy, a numbers guy, and if he sees that's where the ratings and the money is, you're right. Maybe he will go that way.
AEW hasn't really had like quick title changes, and maybe this is the year of quick title changes. You know, you had MJF's year-long reign last year, so maybe this year he's like, we're gonna have Joe hold it for a couple months, then Swerve will hold it for a couple months, then Osprey holds it for a couple months for the rest of the year. Like, all that kind of makes sense.
Cool.
I kind of want to see Danielson have it for a cup of coffee
Right?
Maybe that'd be pretty good.
before he goes out for full time wrestling.
Mhm.
But yeah. After that, we get that crazy 8-man all-star tag match. Loved it, man. This is pretty damn good. Everyone but Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. brawl. Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. are left in the ring. Briscoe takes out Zack Sabre Jr. O'Reilly gets a knee bar on Roderick Strong on the ropes. Then Zack Sabre Jr. gets Orange Cassidy in an arm bar on the ropes. Briscoe launches off a chair onto Fletcher on the outside. Dante Martin springboards onto the whole pile from the ring to the outside. Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. are legal, and they both do some pretty technical stuff. Like Orange Cassidy can do some stuff. Like maybe people don't really realize that, but he can. I don't know. I think he's gonna really surprise not only the fans but Zack Sabre Jr. also. Takeshita and Roderick Strong end up arguing and kind of shove each other a little bit. A little bit of drama there. O'Reilly and Roderick Strong are legal. O'Reilly tags Dante, and he gives Roderick Strong and Zack Sabre Jr. a double Hurricane Rana. Takeshita gives Dante a avalanche power bomb. Orange Cassidy and Briscoe break up the pin when Takeshita covers Dante, but Takeshita wasn't the legal man. You could kind of see Roderick Strong and Takeshita kind of like arguing a little bit about it. Yeah, he totally wasn't legal when he made that pin, and somehow Aubrey like didn't catch it either.
Yeah.
I rewound it twice to go back and see who was legal. It was Roderick. Briscoe takes out Roderick Strong and Kyle Fletcher and Zack Sabre Jr. And Takeshita all by himself. Looked really strong, looked really good. Takeshita gets a froggy bow, then a frog splash, then a lazy elbow drop. Zack Sabre Jr. counters pretty much everything Orange Cassidy throws at him. Roderick Strong goes to knee Orange Cassidy, but hits O'Reilly instead. Then Cassidy gives Roderick Strong the orange punch for the win. They got their win back from last week. That was pretty cool. Feel good moment. At that point, Jack Perry blindsides Dante Martin on the ramp. Briscoe and Takeshita brawl into the back, and Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre Jr. stand face to face. I kind of like how that match was a big preview of the pay-per-view in a lot of ways. Orange Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr., and then multiple guys from the ladder match were in the match too. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, it was crazy, man. A lot of holy shit moments. Mark Briscoe looking good. Takeshita really didn't get a chance to really shine as much as he did the match before, the 6-man tag. So that kind of disappointed me. But yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it definitely got me jazzed for OC and Zack Sabre Jr. That bit where it was just reversal after reversal. I was like, oh Jesus, oh this is gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. is an excellent talent. I'm a big fan of his. It was really nice to see him on Dynamite because he never is on Dynamite, but that's because he's New Japan. And I thought he hit an excellent European plunge onto Orange Cassidy. I thought that was excellent, and all of his technical ability was amazing. Other than that, I thought this was just kind of a standard 8-man tag spectacle. Not a bad match, but just like I've seen this match a lot.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a popcorn
like,
match.
Yeah, Zack Sabre Jr. was the best part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, like I said, a great preview for the pay-per-view. I mean, I know they're gonna do a little more building for the pay-per-view, but I'm already really excited for it now. So that should be really great, Forbidden Door. Looking really forward to it. Let's see. After that, we get a Mercedes Moné video package. She says Zeuxis gave her that taste for lucha style that she loves so much. You say I've been sitting around, bitch. I've been training and working my ass off to get that title that was meant to be mine. At Forbidden Door, those titles aren't just up for grabs, they're mine to claim. You want to be the Las Primera? Let's see if you can handle La Jefa. This match is going to be, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to seeing Stephanie Vekor.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of, I think it might be the match I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. You remember a very, 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 very old Simpsons episode where for some weird reason the Yakuza's at the Simpsons house, and there's that one Japanese guy in a white suit just standing there, and Marge is grabbing Homer and pulling him to the house. He goes, but he hasn't done anything yet. I need to see him. That's kind of like with Stephanie McCurr for me. I'm like, oh, what's she gonna do something?
Yep. Yeah, man. She should have had a match on Dynamite, but I know she had a pretty big match doing something else with some other lady that was kind of going on that I remember they halfway mentioned. So maybe that's why she hasn't been on Dynamite. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a really great match. Now that I know Mercedes Moné can freaking go in the ring, uh, yeah, I'm really stoked. After that, we get Roosh backstage. He's super pissed about losing. Then Don Callis walks up and says something about opportunad. Puts his hand on Roosh, and I guess he's trying to recruit him for the Don Callis family. Do you think he'll do it?
Match too.
Yeah. Do you think he'll do it?
I hope not.
Yeah, I think it just muddy him down. Like, I like the idea of the Don Callis family, but I think it's kind of past the point of it being good. So I think just adding more people isn't going to make it better. So I don't think it would work out, honestly. I think they're just teasing a potential rival for the Don Callis family for a little bit.
What if, hear me out, Roosh and Takeshita bond over their love for hurting people and become a tag team?
Maybe. That would be good.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that.
Right before the Don Callis family implodes.
Right?
That would be fun.
Yeah. Tag division needs some spicing up. There's not a lot of depth to it right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're just kind of waiting for, like, for example, Mark Davis of Aussie Open to get back from his broken wrist. Yeah, right now it's just like the Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, FTR not able to compete. Dax is hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
Private
can't even
Party.
really. Yeah, Private Party, I guess, is
You have the
kind
learning
of in
tree
there.
with Chris Jericho.
Oh
Can't forget
yeah,
about
yeah,
them.
yeah. They're probably gonna win the belts.
Ugh. Jericho couldn't get his tag title win with Kenny Omega, so he gets it with Big Bill. Okay, all right.
Oh man. Speaking of tag teams, we get a tag team eliminator match. Ooh, no one's ever won one in AEW. Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed. Some okay heat being built up leading up to this match. Max Caster tries to rap, but his mic gets cut off. They show Okada on the big screen. He says, I pressed the wrong button. I'm so sorry, bitch. Love it, dude. He's such a cool character. Uh, let's see. The Bucks try to attack the Acclaimed from behind while they're looking at the big screen, but the Acclaimed end up fighting back. Matthew gets a scissor me timbers. Bowens is favoring his leg or hamstring or whatever. He Matthew kicks his leg after getting Irish whipped into Bowens on the apron. Anthony Bowens is definitely looking hurt. Uh, uh, he gives Nicholas a famouser, looking even more hurt. Matthew super kicks Anthony Bowens. Nicholas uh, sentons Bowens and covers him, but Caster breaks the pin. Anthony Bowens catches both legs of the Young Bucks when they try to give him the EVP trigger, and then the Bucks end up giving him a super kick party after pumping up their Reeboks. Matthew low blows Anthony Bowens, and then the Bucks give him an EVP trigger finally. The Young Bucks give Anthony Bowens a sliced bread powerbomb combo from the top rope. Nicholas Jackson covers, but Bowens kicks out somehow, man. Nicholas hits Matthew with one of the tag belts by accident. Bowens gives Matthew the arrival. Then Max Caster gives Matthew a mic drop for the win. Eliminator match is won. First time ever. I'm glad they pulled the trigger on that. I want to see that more now.
Yeah, it'd be a nice change of pace. I didn't really like this match, even though I like the Young Bucks a lot right now, and I like the Acclaim well enough. I thought this match was kind of boring, and like it was just, I don't know, it just didn't click with me. But that sliced toast power bomb they did was pretty fun. But I hate to say it, my favorite part of this match was the Okada bit at the beginning because it was
Yeah.
actually pretty dang funny. So
Yeah, hot take. Not really the biggest Acclaim fan anymore.
they feel forced.
Yeah.
Like
And really since their one amazing match with Keith Lee and Swerve, they haven't had that many great matches.
Yeah.
Like
might have been
yeah.
might have been
I
that like lightning in the bottle. Sorry to cut you off. Might have been
Yeah.
that lightning in the bottle energy. Like, oh, we really want them to win right here, right? Might have been that.
Yeah, to me, they just they feel kind of corporate-y, like WWE. My line, this is my line, this is my line, this is my gimmick, this is my 5 moves. Okay, we're done. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a good way of
Like,
putting it. They feel like and I love WWE. They feel
pull
like
the
a
string.
WWE. They feel like 2019
Yeah.
WWE tag team and AEW, which is kind of the same thing with like Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho feels like a 2019 WWE gimmick, which is crazy because AEW was caused to be the alternative to WWE. But now it feels like there's not all across the board,
Yeah.
but like in
Them
some certain,
specifically, it
yes,
feels like pull the string, I'm gonna do the things now.
it kind of feels like they need a kind of a gimmick change, or like maybe they go heel, like maybe like they just go ruthless with their raps. Like they go, ooh, they get one good burn a rap, I guess, or they say you're gay or you smell or whatever. Well, like that's it. So
Yeah. I mean, I liked the storytelling of Bowens being hurt and kicking out of this, and Max Caster, breaking the pin over and over. I thought it was a cool like comeback,
Yeah, no,
underdog
Bowen's
kind of
catching
match.
the EVP trigger was kind of badass.
yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good
yeah.
spot.
I think I like Bowens better than Caster. I'd really like to see Anthony Bowens go into a singles run. I'm kind of
Give him
feeling.
like a Dax Harwood push,
Right?
like when Cash Wheeler got injured and they kind of pushed. I'm not saying have Anthony Bowens be in, or sorry, Anthony Bowens is who we're talking about, right? We
Yeah.
like don't injure Max Caster or anything like that. Like don't send him away, but like maybe just say, hey, Anthony Bowens is gonna try for the international title and build it up on a pay-per-view. Like what? Like just try it out, see what happens. I think people would kind of like latch onto that. I think people would like that.
Yeah, I think he seems compelling and genuine. Like, yeah, of the two, like he definitely doesn't feel as forced. Like he's definitely has a ton of charisma.
It's the Roman Reigns effect, where when Roman Reigns was in the Shield, he only had like one line, so he came like they knew his limits. I'm not saying Anthony Bowens might has limits, but they knew his limits, and so they prevented him from talking too much. Maybe they're doing the same thing with Anthony Bowens. Like they're not overexposing him. They're not having him cut the heavy promos. They're just everyone, the Acclaimed has arrived. Scissor me, daddy, yes. And so he gets the biggest pop of the night just because he does that line. So
Believe that.
yeah. Roman Reigns reference. Got it in.
I kind of feel like there might be some lingering like Max Caster company stuff going on with him, is why he doesn't feel as genuine and why he feels so forced. Like I think he legitimately has some kind of beef with, I don't know, his creative or the direction or something. Something happened.
Yeah. Don't know what, but something changed.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I freaking popped pretty hard when they won. Kind of made me feel good about it. So I guess, did they announce the match for Forbidden Door?
No, they haven't
Or
announced it yet, but it probably would be Forbidden Door.
it would make sense. But yeah, anyway, after that, we get the Tony Storm Mina Shirakawa contract signing, hosted by Mariah May. Mariah May says she loves them both, and Mina Shirakawa cuts her off and tells her to shut up. And she tells Tony that in Stardom she was a legend. In AEW she became a star, but as champion she got soft and weak. And at Forbidden Door she'll take her title and her girl. Tony says this buffet is wide open, and grab a bowl and line up. Because, darling, I have some advice. Chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. Shirakawa says Mariah has to choose. And at that point, they get interrupted by Saraya. She says she's sick of all of it. Anna Jay shows up out of nowhere, and they all attack Tony Storm, Mariah May, and Mina. I thought it was Camille at first. I was like, yes, come on. You've had her on your payroll for like 4 or 5 months now. Please do something with her. But no, it was Anna Jay. She just like looked a little different to me, I guess. Hair was lighter. I don't know. They prop up the signing table in the corner. Saraya goes to put Mariah May through the table, but Toni Storm saves her and tries to give Saraya the hip attack through the table, but Saraya moves out of the way and Toni crashes through the table, hurting her butt. Mariah clings to Mina Shirakawa on the ramp. And yeah, that's the end of that segment. I feel like I'm happy that they didn't do the tried and true, like, oh, one of them are going through the table. I'm glad they brought in a different element to it, which, I mean, they're kind of doing a lot now. They're like intertwining a lot of storylines and a lot of characters together now. Which I don't know. I don't think it's to their detriment yet, but they need to find that happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, like for whatever reason, I'm loving what they're doing with Osprey, and I was just like person after person after person, wants a crack at him. But yeah, this one just felt, yeah, it didn't have the right chemistry for me. I was like, oh, this feels left fieldish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been a staunch supporter of Toni Storm since the beginning of her title reign, and I still enjoy her quite much. But I felt like this was the first segment at first that I didn't care about. Like, Mina Shirakawa is pretty good. She's still not going to win. You know, this is going to be, oh, Toni Storm retained the title but lost Mariah May in the process. I don't know how that's going to happen, but that's going to be the finish of this match. Is Toni Storm's going to do something that'll set Mariah May off and go, oh, I'm done with you. Like, I don't want to interact with you anymore. And then I don't like Saraya, and I felt like her introduction into the segment just kind of made it worse. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I care even less now that you're a part of this. And the only reason they put her in, I think, was because they have an Owen Hart. Mariah May and Saraya are in the Owen Hart tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
So it makes sense in that regard. But at the end of the day, I didn't care for this segment. And yeah. Mina Shirakawa looks good. Excited to see what she can do.
Yeah, and we do get a pretty weird 6-woman tag out of this before Forbidden Door.
But can they coexist?
Right?
Probably
I'm going to say no, and they're losing that match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see Mina Shirakawa on my AEW television all the time now at this point. I think she's great. She's pretty good in the ring too, like from what I've seen. From being a model, like at one point, like learning how to wrestle, like that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I mean, she competes in New Japan Strong. Like that's no joke over there. They those people can go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the match. We pretty much know the outcome, but it should be pretty fun. Yeah. Let's see. After that, we get a Claudio Castagnoli promo. He's looking forward to his match with Pac. He says, "Let's do it for the wrestling." I like that sentiment. That's kind of where I'm at. At least he didn't say sickos, right?
Right.
At least he didn't say, because we're the best. And AEW is we're the best. Wrestle.
Tony Khan signs our checks.
Copyright. I hate to say it. This new AEW where the best wrestle, I think is a real cringy phrase. I get it. You guys are good wrestlers.
No, it's a good mission statement to have in the background. You don't need to say it every hour.
Yeah. They don't need to say it every match, be like, wow, guys, this is where the best wrestle, and we're watching it. Tony Khan's so great. He's putting on this great product. I love him so much.
He's signing my paycheck right now.
Make sure to tweet at Tony Khan and say hashtag thank you for this, hashtag AEW, hashtag Dynamite, hashtag privileged to be in the hashtag presence of a hashtag sicko like Tony Khan, hashtag thank you.
Where is Tony Khan? Hashtag Jacksonville.
No, he's back. He's healed. He should have kept
Got
that
it.
neck brace for like years.
Yeah,
Years.
dude.
He should
Yeah.
he should still at least be selling it. At least until Blood and Guts. Because the good guys
Oh,
lost. Why not still have him in a neck
yeah.
brace? It'd be funny. It was
Yep.
funny.
Did you know they auctioned it off and he was the highest bidder?
So he bought it.
Yeah.
No one wants it.
But he gave it to the whatever football show guy for him to like have in the background of his
Nice.
set. Tony didn't keep it.
Oh well.
Let's see. Yeah, then we get our brackets revealed for the men's and women's Owen Hart Cup.
Jeff
do you
Jarrett
wanna-
is gonna main event All In, baby, and I cannot wait.
Ain't he great?
Hmm
do you want to run us through the brackets, Chandler?
I do. So I got Claudio Castagnoli versus Pac in the first round. I wonder if we'll see who wins that match later on. And then the winner of that match will face Bryan Danielson and Shingo Takagi, who are facing each other at Forbidden Door. And then Ray Fenix will be facing Jay White on next week's Dynamite
Ooh.
on the other side of the
Ooh.
bracket. And then it'll be Jeff Jarrett versus a wild card. Now, there's plenty of guesses for this. I was thinking Hangman Page or maybe Will Ospreay because I'm betting either Will Ospreay will be champion or he'll be going for the championship. And we just don't know because we haven't seen Forbidden Door yet. Chad, you said you had a pretty good prediction, or you heard a pretty good prediction.
I heard it, and now I'm adopting it. And Larson from a very good wrestling podcast, Going in Raw, he said, "What if it's Nigel McGuinness to set up Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness for the final?" I'm like, yes, please, all of that.
The only
Yeah.
the only problem I have with that is you would need one of those to lose, right? And I think the big money match is doing that match at Wembley, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
that's the one part. Like, I like that a lot, but this will main event a Dynamite, which I think Nigel McGuinness coming out of retirement to face his biggest rival, Bryan Danielson, he's been attacking on Mike for a year at this point. I think that's
Definitely
a little bit
bigger match. That's a good point.
I think that's a bigger match than just Dynamite. I like the idea of because I have Pac winning this whole thing.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I think Pac is winning this because I'm saying it's Pac and Ospreay at Wembley.
Interesting.
It's not a bad booking.
Or Jeff Jarrett. Can always go with Jeff Jarrett, and my reasoning
Yeah,
being,
I think Jeff Jarrett could probably pull a 4-star match out of Ospreay.
and then and then Jeff Jarrett obviously goes on to win the championship. Wee woo, wee woo. Come on, who wouldn't want Jeff Jarrett as AEW champion? Pinning the stroke is like a really protected finish, right? He just hits Ospreay with one and done, baby. Back to the line. Come on.
He kicks out of a Tiger Driver 91.
Oh, at one. He's like, I got it. I'm Jeff Jarrett, baby. I saw a lot of people are mad that Jeff Jarrett was in this, and it's like, I get it, right? A lot of people don't like Jeff Jarrett, but here's 2 reasons why. One, it is a name. They can say as he's walking down to the ring, Jeff Jarrett is a so-and-so time world heavyweight champion because he won the TNA world title a couple times, so like that counts.
Yeah, he was WCW champion too.
Yeah,
like 3 times or something.
He was Owen Hart's like best friend.
Yeah,
so I'm sure this means a lot to Jeff Jarrett. Just, hey, can I be in it? Yeah. And again, the whole point of this is you need big names to lose in the first round. We're all assuming this wild card's gonna win, right? Claudio lost in the first round. That's a pretty big name. Fenix is probably going to lose. That's a big name. Not as big as the others. And then Shingo Takagi, that's a big name to New Japan fans. So you kind of need a big name to lose in the first round. So
Yeah.
Then do we want to
My
talk? Oh,
well,
sorry.
I got 2 guesses for the wild card. These are more of a want than a think. Number 1, Cash Wheeler.
He can go.
Yeah, and he's never had an AEW singles match, and Dax is out. Number 2, Ricochet.
Oh, Ricky O'Shea. Perhaps. That wouldn't be bad. You know who I'm thinking? Sting. You know why? He said he'd be at All In this year. So that retirement was a sham, just like Ric Flair's. He's
Oh
coming.
man.
One more match.
Wait, what if it's Ric Flair?
Whoa.
Ric Flair and Double J one last time?
Yes. I'm all for it.
This might be too soon, but do you think Sting will repel from the Raptors?
No, that's in poor taste. No, he would not do that.
I know.
He only did that. He did it for the one Dynamite, and it was a pretty badass segment for the one Dynamite.
You know, they got permission from Martha Hart about that too.
To do that with Sting?
Yep.
Cool.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't have done this, but if like I remember that harness being like 8 inches thick and it was like a really big hook, like
Yeah.
they should have done that. They should have done that with Owen Hart.
Yeah. What do we got for the women's bracket? I kind of like this too.
All right. Willow Nightingale will be facing Serena Deeb, I think, on Collision.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought she said Rampage.
It's Rampage or Collision. It's happening on Friday or Saturday. And then Nyla Rose and Chris Statlander. I think that match already happened. What's nice about that is Willow will most likely beat Serena Deeb, and Chris Statlander, spoilers, beat Nyla Rose. So it'll be Chris versus Willow. That's pretty neat. And then it'll be Deonna Purrazzo versus Hikaru Shida. And then Mariah May versus Saraya. And I'm picking Mariah May to win this whole thing. So I think Mariah May beating Saraya, who's a former women's champion. And then you either have Deonna Purrazzo in this new big heel turn, or you have Shida as a former AEW's women's champion. So that'd be a good person for Mariah May to beat as well. And then Mariah May beating this new heel Statlander would be pretty cool. So that's my pick.
Yeah, definitely Mariah May for me. Like that's how you get the whole Tony Storm match. On the men's side, I'm going with Danielson. I mean, shoot, they might even have. Let's see, there's no pay-per-view in between Forbidden Door and All In. I was gonna say if there was one, they could have Pac and Danielson or something, you know, on that pay-per-view if there was one. But I think I want Danielson. I want him to have a run with that belt, hot potato that sucker on him for a little bit. Then, you know, Ospreay or something could get it after that. I don't know.
I don't know. Wembley's a pretty big stage though. And like I said, Bryan Danielson for me is like sort of the blinking light, but Chandler makes a really good case. Pac would be pretty special.
Well, okay, so now you're kind of selling me on Bryan Danielson, right? Because no matter what, I'm still saying I think Ospreay's winning that title at Forbidden Door. So either you have Pac versus Ospreay, which is a pretty good match for All In, or you have Bryan Danielson versus Ospreay 2. And then I like the potential story of Ospreay to win the first match had to do something ruthless and really dangerous. So maybe Danielson, not exactly in revenge, but he does something really ruthless and dangerous. Maybe he hits Ospreay with a Tiger Driver. Maybe he, like, I don't know, but the story kind of tells itself. Like, oh, Danielson had to do something ruthless and aggressive to win his match. And now in the final match, whenever they have it, Danielson and Ospreay, either all going to go out or they're not going to go all out because of their respect. So I think that's a pretty good story they could tell.
Yeah, I'm going with Danielson. I want that. I want him to give a Tiger Driver 91. It's really all I want.
Yeah. Or maybe to choke him with that Justin Roberts tie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, I even know that reference. Oh shit. Cool. After that, we get a Owen Hart women's semifinal match. Chris Statlander versus Nyla Rose. Long time no see for Nyla Rose. Uh, Stokely gets a boost up the steps from Statlander. I really like that. Nyla Rose gets a big pop. Her hometown is Washington, D.C. She's definitely playing the face for this match. Yeah, I really miss watching Nyla Rose on TV, to be honest. She was a pretty huge staple of AEW in the early days. Let's see. Nyla goes for a guillotine knee that she used to do all the time. But Statlander gets up and pushes her off the top ropes on the floor. Nyla Rose cannonball Statlander, covers her for 2. Statlander gives Nyla an axe kick, covers for 2. Reminded me of Booker T when she
Nice.
did that. Statlander misses a 450. Nyla covers for 2. Statlander gives Nyla a tombstone pile driver for the win. Another like old school, not very used finisher for the win. I kind of like that trend with MJF, then her doing that. That was kind of cool. Yeah, Statlander advances to the let's see, the quarterfinals.
Semifinals.
Semi. Yeah. So yeah, this was a quarterfinal match, and now she advances to the semifinals.
Math.
Stokely warns Willow if she attacks them, she'll be in the same cell as Justin Timberlake, who got
Ooh,
a
pop
D-
culture reference. Burn.
DUI. Willow appears on the video wall, says she has a match against Serena Deeb on Rampage, and when she wins, she'll get to whoop her ass, and then she gets one step closer to going to Wembley. Man, I don't think she's gonna be able to go to Wembley.
But
She'll be there.
yeah, this Statlander Stokely pairing off though is doing it for me. I hope she keeps getting featured because this is a great run. Statlander is always one of those ones like, she'd pop on, she'd start to get a little hot, then she'd get hurt, and then that happened a couple times. And like I think turning her heel and pairing her with Stokely was a stroke of genius because this has definitely captured my imagination.
Yeah. Hear me out, if you will. I'm going to say something crazy. You have 3 women's matches at Wembley. You have the women's title match of Toni Storm versus Mariah May. You have Mercedes Moné going against, I don't know, pick a name. And then you have Willow versus Chris Statlander. Feud ender,
Yeah.
baby. And then you can either go, Willow will win, push her up, or Chris Statlander will win and have her ginormous heel run. Either way, I think it sells, brother. But can't have 3 women's match on the pay-per-view. Cut that out.
Yeah.
Get your fantasy fucking out of here.
Love it.
Unless
I want to see it.
It'll
the
be on the
Young
0
Bucks-
hour. It'll be on the 0 hour. There you go.
Yeah. Unless the Young Bucks are like, we're gonna really be heel.
Yeah. Screw you, Tony Khan. We're gonna put Willow. We're gonna bump it up on the main show. Screw you. And Tony Khan's like, oh no.
Yep. Let's do that. Oh man.
You know what would be really, really funny? Okay, what if people are like, oh, we like this Chris Statlander Willow match happens. They're like, oh, you gotta bump it up on the main card, right? And he's like, well, I gotta be fair. I gotta bump another women's match, and I can't bump that Mercedes Moné match. So we live in a world where Toni Storm and Mariah May is on the pre-show. Who would be a fan of that? Huh?
Not me.
Tony Khan would so do that. He's a petty bitch.
True.
Oh man. I don't know, man. I'd rather just have the 2 women's matches that were originally the two titles on the main show, and have Willow and Stat on the pre-show. But
Yeah.
really, I'd rather have all three on the main show, obviously. But if I had to
Mhm.
pick,
Mhm.
let's see. After that, we get a recap of Private Party attacking the Learning Tree. Renee backstage with Private Party. Mark Quinn says Jericho learned that Private Party ain't no joke. Jericho walks up and says Private Party got the upper hand last week, but they cheated. He gives them advice on competing against luchadors. If they go to use a pile driver, just say, "That doesn't work for me, brother," and don't do it. And then he thanks
Wrestling's
everyone.
fake. Did you know that? It's predetermined, guys. Wrestling's fake. I'm so sick of Jericho. I'm so like, you know, a gimmick is shit when they have to go, wrestling's fake, guys, for it to make sense. So I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of it. Jericho, you're killing your own business. Stop it.
Yep. Yep. That was almost too much, Jericho, for the episode for me. Like I said, at least it wasn't like a match or a learning tree segment. Like that would have
Hey
really
guys. Hey, I'm here. This star.
Yep. That's what it is, man.
What if the wild card is Jericho?
Skip.
Oh no.
Okay, you know what? I would okay. And they do Jericho Osprey 2 at Wembley. Ooh. Title for title. Ooh.
Oh no.
Come on. The match books itself,
Yeah.
Dave. You know it does.
Oh man, that's so funny. Like I was okay with him a little, like
We were
a
all
month and a
okay
half ago.
when he seemed humble, and then he beat Hook for the stupid Hook title. He beat Hook for the Hook title.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Why? Remember how the match ended? Like, this is making me mad. Remember how the match ended and Jericho was all sad about it? He's like, I can't believe I had to hit him in the head with a baseball bat. Boo hoo. And then the next week he was like, hi guys, I have TV time. Like, I hate him so much. I get they were trying to pivot, but like, maybe have a less shit pivot.
Or just take him off TV. Like, really,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
answer.
Have Hook beat him in 3 seconds. Just red rum, choke him out, do the like hand drop so it kind of protects Jericho, I guess, and then send Jericho off for a year. I know he doesn't have that much time left in his career, but like, please take a break.
Yeah.
Let people miss you because no
It's
one
like,
missed you when you turned back up.
can't you go tour with your freaking band?
Yeah. Go work
Uh,
some indies. I don't care. Just don't be on AEW.
Dude, he's making me like less interested in going to a Jericho cruise.
Ooh, Jericho Cruise. That sounds fun. Is Jericho going to be there? Yeah, good.
Like that was on my wrestling bucket list, like for like years now. But I'm like kind of, I don't know.
When he retires, they'll be cool again. So he just wait for him to retire, and then it'll be cool.
Yeah, I mean, dude, all kinds of like people, like Booker T goes to them, and like all kinds of people that work for WWE like goes to them, and
You
like,
dig it, sucker?
yes, of course I can. Booker T was the last WCW champion before they went out of business, man. I'll never forget.
Technically, The Rock was the last WCW champion
While they were
disputed.
while they were in business.
I know. I'm being a prick. I wanted to be a little silly with that one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
The Rock was, huh?
I think so because The Rock beat Booker T for the WCW title, and then Jericho beat Stone Cold and The Rock in the same night. So
When did the undisputed thing happen? When did they unify them? I thought Jericho was the unified.
Yeah, but they did it at a pay-per-view.
I did appreciate the fact that Jericho was WCW World heavyweight champion even after leaving and getting screwed over there and WCW.
Mm-hmm.
I respect him for that. But he was cool back then. Like
Oh, it
real
was
cool.
December 9th, 2001 at Vengeance,
Yep.
where Chris Jericho defeated WWF champion Stone Cold Steve Austin and world champion The Rock in the same night. The WWF championship became the undisputed WWF championship, while the WCW championship was retired.
Huh.
Yep. Oh, sad times.
Sorry to reopen old wounds. Can't believe
Yeah, he did.
Jericho rant got to bringing up how he like probably the biggest moment of his career.
Yeah, for sure. Isn't that where like Vince is like, haha, this is going down the shitter when Jericho wins or whatever.
Well, we're putting the title on Jericho. So,
Oh man.
it was seen as a good decision from day one from the higher
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah. So I was talking about this with Chad before we went on air. I think they need to dial back these Daniel Garcia squash matches.
They just need to dial back squash matches in general. Like have Daniel Garcia beat someone who's like a name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I know this guy had a name, but like have him. I want to see him wrestle a match. Squash matches only have. I think squash matches are only good when it's a really big guy, and you do them
Right.
when you first debut them to go, holy crap, this guy is huge. He just killed that guy. You do it like for 3 weeks, and then you move on. AEW just does them way too much. Like, oh, we need to have this guy on the card, and we don't have time for him to have an actual segment.
Especially when you got such a big roster. Like, give somebody some airtime.
Bring some Ring of Honor guys. Like, it was really cool to see Hechicero versus Dalton Castle, even though it kind of was just a squash match, because we got the whole ass Dalton Castle entrance, and you got to have the Outrunners, and it was a ball of a
The
time.
boy
And then-
runners.
Yeah. And then Hechicero, they had a somewhat competitive match, but it was still clear that Hechicero was going to win. But
Yeah.
I'd rather have something like that than what we've been getting. They were like, oh, he's on a 6-match winning streak. I'm like, this is just like, oh, AEW does this so much where they're like, oh, this person's on a winning streak, and it's like 6 jobbers in a row. Cool.
Yeah, I loved it when they had Dark and Elevation. Like some people's records would be like, they're 57-1. Like
Yep.
you've seen him wrestle twice in the last year because you don't watch Dark or Elevation.
Mhm.
I kind of miss Dark and Elevation. Not gonna lie. It's not like ROH is basically their NXT,
Mhm.
and I'm not paying for that crap. So, but yeah, we got Daniel Garcia versus Rhett Titus. Daddy Magic on commentary. Garcia wins again with the same finishers. Guillotine into the Red Cross. That's what I'm like getting annoyed about. He's doing the same thing over and over and over too.
He's setting it up so that when he hits it on Ospreay, he kicks out, and you go, "Oh, he's pinned the last 6 guys in a row with that move. Ospreay's the greatest. He kicked out. Whoa!" And everyone's gonna go, "Oh my!" They're gonna get the whole Michael Cole. Oh my!
After the match, Cage of Agony attack Daddy Magic and Garcia. MJF runs out, takes out Leona and Khan, but get put into an arm lock by Hechicero. Will Ospreay runs out to save MJF, and he's taken out, or he takes out Cage and Hechicero. MJF and Ospreay are doing the whole trope where they back up, run into each other, turn around, face to face. The crowd is like, holy shit. MJF ends up walking away, and he gives Garcia a little nod, and Ospreay helps Garcia up. Yeah.
MJF didn't have any friends. Thought he was
Right?
nice, and now he's saving people. He saved someone last week, didn't he? Where's
Uh,
the lie, Max? Where's the lie?
I think he wasn't saving anyone per se. He was responding to the challenge
From
by
Hechicero?
Hechicero, I think is kind of the way they were playing that, I guess.
Okay, I'll take that, but still.
Ugh.
Get your shit together, MJF. I thought you were a bad guy. No more kangaroo kicks. No more friendship. Why you giving nods to Daniel Garcia? You should kick him in the dick.
Right.
As much
Give
as I
him,
love Daniel Garcia, but we want MJF to be a dick, right?
Yeah.
yep, give him a brain buster.
Yeah. And then that gets, we get Daniel Garcia versus MJF, and that can end in a time limit or something like that. Or I don't know, MJF can win it clean. Like, ow.
Yeah. I think like he said he didn't want any more friendships and didn't want to trust anyone, but deep down he really does. Is what I want to think.
Okay. But Daniel Garcia is going to be the one guy to pull it out of him because he's the best. He's the best.
Hey man, at least Garcia's getting a lot of TV time, man.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He's still over, which is
Yeah.
nice. And he's getting TV time. I just wish it was like matches where he can succeed, and like he is succeeding technically, but like
It's
show
not
off. Like
consequential though.
right now, it
Yeah.
feels like he's just the sports entertainer, which I thought he finally broke free of the sports entertainer chain with like the Continental Classic and then teaming up with FTR for a bit. Like I thought that was him becoming a wrestler. And now that he went away and is just kind of like he does the dance and wins a squash match, I feel like he's back to the sports entertainment thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, which is it?
Yeah,
They
could
need
have
to
like thrown
change
him
it
in
up.
like a match with like Jay White or something. Whew.
Oh
That'd be
damn.
good.
Shit. Yeah, good booking, Chad.
Yeah.
What if Daniel Garcia is the wild card?
Ah.
I mean, as much as I like him, I still wouldn't have him win it, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I
he's
feel like
not
the
beaten
wild
back.
card that needs like holy shit potential.
yeah.
Yeah. Goldberg.
Ooh. Jeff Jarrett still beats Goldberg though. So
Oh man. Let's see. After that, Renee tries to interview Osprey, but Brian Cage tries to attack him, and security holds back Brian Cage. And he says he wants a match on Collision for the international title. Osprey accepts, but looks worried. He calls Cage a wanker.
hey, why does Will Ospreay accept challenges from Brian Cage and not Daniel Garcia?
Yep.
Why? If he's scared of Brian Cage, I get it. Daniel Garcia isn't outright attacking him and putting him into a corner, but like
That's the factor.
I guess Daniel Garcia start like beating people up more.
Yep. Turn heel.
I don't know if I want that because I like he's
I don't
like
either.
he's such a good baby face. He's kind of
Yeah.
like okay. This is a bad comparison because they have turned it around with Chad Gable, but it's kind of like Chad Gable, where it's like, well, why would you turn him heel? Because he's doing so well as a babyface, he's getting such good responses. But they kind of changed it with Chad, and I'm not saying they couldn't with Danny, but I don't think they would. You know?
Yeah, I like him being a face. I
Yeah.
think he's great at it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
One more shot at the wild card. He starts.
Oh, Ricky
Ooh.
Starks. Damn, dude. Okay. Because he won that sucker last year.
Yeah.
Mhm. Who'd he beat?
Damn.
Who did he beat? I have no idea. I can't remember. Who'd he beat? Was it Chris Jericho? Yeah, he beat Chris Jericho.
Mr. Phil Pepsi.
I know. Is the Pepsi man.
Oh man. Let's see. All right, we're at our main event, which is the Owen Hart quarterfinal match. Claudio versus Pac. Pac aggressively attacks Claudio right off the bat. Pac slams Claudio into the barricades, and it appears Claudio's hip is hurt from that. Claudio European uppercuts Pac on the floor. Claudio is definitely favoring his hip. Got me pretty worried because I just had a little hip injury, so I know how it feels. Pac moonsaults Claudio on the outside and tries again, but Claudio catches him and gives him a spine buster on the floor. Pac gives Claudio a springboard elbow drop, which I've never seen Pac do before. That was really cool. Pac misses a black arrow. Claudio comes back with an uppercut. Claudio gives Pac the giant swing, then a running lariat. He covers Pac, but Pac kicks out at 2. Pac counters the Ricola bomb into the brutalizer, where he's just suspended on Claudio in midair with the submission. Claudio gets out of it and puts Pac in the sharpshooter, then a crossface. They go back and forth, cover after cover after cover. 1, 2, 1, 2, rolling all over the ring. And Pac ends up getting the win. Claudio won't show Pac any respect. Claudio gets out of the ring. He's looking real pissed. Danielson's yelling at him, "It's all right, man. It happens. It happens."
I liked that. I liked that a lot. I mean, Bryan Danielson is always great on commentary, but I liked how he was just trying to calm his buddy down. Like, hey, it happens to all of us. Like, we all have dumb losses. Like, maybe not dumb losses, but we all have losses like that. It happens. So, and then Claudio not being able to be consoled by him. I don't think this is like sowing seeds of a betrayal or anything, but I thought it was a good little.
Yeah, they've been sowing some seeds like through promos and stuff in the past. Like Claudio thinks Bryan Danielson's kind of careless, wrestling through the injuries and stuff. And so I don't know. I think there might be like a little too. Yeah, I think there might be a little mini feud in it.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I was looking forward to Claudio versus Danielson. Honestly, I wanted that to happen in the Owen Hart Cup. I mean, it's not now.
They were the only draw in the Continental Classic, and I feel like that means something. I thought the Continental. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say something controversial. Out of everything I've seen in AEW, I've seen Forbidden Door last year, All In last year, and then the build up to Full Gear to now. The best thing they've done in that time was the Continental Classic. The Continental Classic was one of the best things I've seen in wrestling ever. It was so good. It was fantastic. Dude, so I will remember that, like, clearly, vividly.
You got me really wanting that to come back around, man. We got to wait another 5 months, I guess, for it to start. Oh, yeah, you're right, man. That's some good shit. That was like an emotional roller coaster. And the way
match mattered. Every match mattered.
Every match. Yeah.
Unless you were wrestling Jay Lethal. Then it didn't really matter. But every other match mattered.
And everybody wrestles everybody, which is so cool. Like, damn it. I'm clamoring for that now. Damn. Right? Thank you for reminding me.
Tony Khan, I want to announce this now. If you put Takeshita in the Continental Classic and give him an okay run, I will formally apologize to calling you a piece of shit today.
Nice.
Fair enough. And then we ended the episode with Pac staring down Danielson. Ooh. Yeah, dude.
Why was me staring down Shingo Takagi? Shingo Takagi might win.
Oh, yeah, right. He might. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Dynamite. I think they're cooking, man. They do need to find a balance with all the interweaving stories and and people being involved with, each other's storyline. I think maybe dial that back just a click or two. But it's better than everyone being on their own island,
Yeah.
which was a problem for a long time.
I kind of appreciate the build to Forbidden Door for the most part. Like the marquee attraction matches have just been, here's a good wrestler that you know in AEW, and here's a good wrestler that you know about from another brand. What if they just fought? Bryan Danielson, Shingo Takagi. What if they just fought? Orange Cassidy, Zack Sabre Jr. What if they just fought? MGF, Hechicero. What if they just fought? Like, I like that. And
Yeah, it
then when
has
they
almost like a house show feel to it, where it's like, oh, they're going to be great matches, and they kind of matter, but they also kind of don't. They're just enjoy them for what they are.
Don't take this too bad, Dave, but this is like the best Saudi show ever. Where it's just where like WWE would be like dream matches. You so want to see 2018 Shawn Michaels and Triple H fight 2018 Kane and The Undertaker. You so want to see 2019 Undertaker versus Goldberg. Whereas this is like, no, I think MGF and Hechicero is a dream match. I think Bryan Danielson and Shingo Takagi is a dream match. Like I see it like that.
Let's throw in a 50-man Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that would actually be good though, because it would be like a lot of big names from AEW, CMLL, New Japan. I'll get some Stardom women in there. Who cares? Have fun with it.
I think what we're really liking about the build is, believe it or not, man, this is booking for the sickos, man.
You put
It's
Zack
not all
Sabre
bad.
Jr. on a card, I'll say it's a good show.
Yeah.
That's a real low bar for me, but it's a bar.
This is what Tony Khan means by booking for the sickos, man. This is what it means. These incredible dream matches that not a lot of them you didn't know you wanted, but now you get them and you're like, oh shit. So yeah, man, keep on booking for us, Tony. I'm a sicko right here.
Let's get a little help with Ring of Honor so you can focus on your main AEW shows.
Yep. Get Scott D'Amore in there and let him take the helm.
Yeah, his non-competes though goes through till like 2025. So got a minute.
Yeah, that's so dumb though. Why? God. Maybe Tony Khan could just pay for the contract breaking.
See, the problem with that, right, is he didn't buy out like Will Ospreay's New Japan contract, so I don't think he's really gonna buy out contracts. He'll spend a boatload of money on like Okada and Monet and Ospreay because there's a pretty good chance that he'll make a return on those investments if he hasn't already, right? Like I'm sure he hasn't made all 14 million that he gave Okada back, but he's gonna at some point. So like it makes sense to shill out a lot of money for those. For Scott D'Amore, especially if you're just putting him on Ring of Honor, I don't know if you're going to see a return on that. You'd almost have to have him like take over Collision, right? Like, like give him like pointers, right? Like, I want Collision to be mostly like wrestling oriented. You can have promos like one or two a show, but I want this to mostly be the wrestling show. And I want these guys on the shows to look good. Make sure you do that. Other than that, it's up to you.
Yeah. Do you want to know the Collision card so far?
Yeah.
What do I remember? I remember it's Okada versus Ultimo Guerrero.
Yeah.
In a Continental title eliminator. I don't think Guerrero's going to win that one.
No.
Ospreay versus Cage, which should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Bill and Jericho versus Private Party.
Yeah.
And what am I missing?
Samoa Joe, Hook, Shibata versus the Premier Athletes.
Guys, I think the Premier Athletes might win that one.
I will shave my head if they... Oh, wait.
Dude, I think like deep down, this is kind of my favorite thing going right now. Like it's...
Yeah.
tickles me to death. Like the
Yeah.
Shibata part of it is kind of my favorite part,
Yeah.
honestly.
Like I said last time, like their chemistry gives me like Pulp Fiction vibes. Jules and Travolta and Samuel Jackson's characters have a very similar feeling. I was like, I'm totally into this.
Well, it's three guys that haven't had a whole lot of good stuff to do for a couple months. Like Joe hasn't done much since he
Yeah.
lost his title, which is fine. He doesn't have to go right back for it, but he hasn't done much of anything else. And then poor Hook and Shibata have been caught in that Jericho vortex for like 2 months. So Joe was probably like, "Hey, I want to go on TV again. What do you want me to do?" And they're like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Well, how about I just take Hook and Shibata and we start killing fools?" And they're like, "Okay, fine, whatever, as long as it's funny."
Uh, Man, I feel like we skipped over that little bit that they did. Did we talk about that?
I just thought I was old and forgot.
No, I think we did, right? Because what was Shibata's line? Like, let's punk out those goofy bitches. Didn't you say that?
I think we
No,
talked
no.
about that before the show off camera.
Yeah,
Maybe we
yeah.
just kind of forgot about it. Essentially, for those who didn't see, Hook, Joe, and Shibata were gonna go beat up the premier athletes in their locker room, but oh no, no one's there.
Yeah.
And Mark Sterling left a note that said, "See you on Collision, bud." And so they're gonna see him on Collision, bud.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. I like it. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things happening right now. Even though it's kind of like a B storyline.
So something,
Yeah.
right?
It's good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, good stuff. Right on. While I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna need everyone out there in YouTube land, and heck, if you're listening to us on the audio realm, try to do it
Ooh.
anyway. Give it a shot. See what
Yeah,
happens.
especially while you're driving. I hear that's really safe.
Yeah.
Get that elbow, get up on that top rope, and elbow drop that like button. Then take your opponent. Go ahead and power bomb that subscribe button and leave a comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Yeah, we love the feedback. We love doing this show. We love wrestling. And yeah, I like that I'm branching out to some WWE
I'm so
territory
proud of
now.
you.
Mm-hmm. Aren't you hyped for Money in the Bank, Dave?
Ooh,
Couldn't
that's
tell you
always one
who's
of
in it. Don't even know.
Damian Priest and Seth Rollins are fighting for Damian Priest's title. There's that.
Ooh.
Did Jey Uso qualify for Money in the Bank?
Yeah, that's what got interrupted by the Wyatt Six.
Yeah.
He was celebrating.
Oh, okay. What I don't know. I don't know who will win that this year. They kind of like it was last year. It was either LA Knight or Damian Priest, but everyone wanted LA Knight. But they were like, I guess Damian Priest makes more sense. Whatever. And then Damian Priest won it, and everyone just kind of went whatever.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't do that again this year because Money in the Bank is such a cool thing. And like it's only cool when they have a good winner, whether it's a sniving heel or a great baby face. Those are the only two ways to do it. And Damian Priest was neither. He was supposed to be a badass heel, but with like a bitchy heel like prop basically. So I don't know who I would have it win this year. Maybe Jay, maybe Chad. Who do you want to win this year? Who do you want? Chad, okay,
Oh,
I'll say one more name: Jey Uso or Drew McIntyre. Because Drew McIntyre had that promo of when he lost at Mania. He was like, "The Money in the Bank is such a stupid thing. It's such a stupid little gimmick." And then you have
that's a good
SummerSlam.
pull.
You have SummerSlam of Damian Priest versus Gunther. Gunther's about to win. Drew McIntyre comes in, makes it a triple threat, pins Priest. He's the new champ. That's book it, Hunter.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'd like. Yeah. Drew's always one of my faves. I'm into that.
All right, I got some questions here.
He quit, so he can't.
Yeah. He's gonna be on TNA fighting Moose.
That would be good though. That would be good
Yeah,
though.
that would
All right,
be
what are you
good.
gonna say, Dave? What's your questions?
True or false? Chris Jericho invented Money in the Bank, more or less,
That's
right?
what they say.
I think it's true. He might have like made the idea with it with someone, but Chris Jericho takes the credit for
Yeah.
it.
Okay. And how exactly does it work? There's a men's and a women's, right?
Yeah. So let's say
How many people are in the match?
like
Should be
6
like
to
8.
8.
Yeah.
6 to 8. Last year it was 7.
Okay. And
And then
how many are announced so far? Damian Priest or
no, Damian Priest won it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, I think it's just
Uso.
Jey Uso. And then
Yeah. I'm sure LA Knight will be in it.
no, I think LA Knight might
Or is he doing like Logan Paul?
if I had to bet, right? If I'm Booker Man here, I would do Logan Paul LA Knight at Money in the Bank, have another screwy finish, and have LA Knight go, nah, I'm not taking that. We're gonna do that one more time, and then LA Knight beats him at SummerSlam.
Oh, okay.
Or Logan Paul costs him the Money in the Bank contract, and that sets up. Either or, he get to LA Knight taking that title off of Logan Paul, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
Have both the briefcases been cashed in?
Oh God, yeah.
Has there ever been a point to where it hadn't been? Is there like a rule you have to cash it in before
Within
the
the
next?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have until the next Money in the Bank show, and they've never really told that story. I think the latest someone did it, Dolph Ziggler did it the day after Mania once, and that was pretty late. But I think the latest was Carmella, and I don't know. I don't know exactly when she did it, but I know she's the latest. It was like 270 days or something like that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah.
I needed to know these things.
The Money in the Bank is very hit or miss. For every like Seth Rollins and Io Sky and Damian Priest cash in,
You get a Damian Sandow.
Yeah, or Austin Theory. Austin Theories was the worst. Did you ever hear about that one, Dave?
No.
So up until Austin Theory's cash in, people had only gone for the big titles, right? So either the WWE or the Universal title, or back in the day, they used to have 2 men's briefcases, one for the WWE title, one for the World Heavyweight title. So you could cash in the WWE Money in the Bank or the World Heavyweight Money in the Bank. They kind of stopped doing that because I was dumb. But Austin Theory kept trying to cash in on Roman because Roman was the only champ, and he kept on getting thwarted. And so he went, okay, I'm going to cash in on Seth Rollins after he's been beat up and put through a table by Bobby Lashley, and he still lost. By the way, Seth Rollins had the United States title at this time. It is the worst cash in they've ever done. And it's because it's Austin Theory. And Vince was probably going to have him win a title. I don't know what. Because Austin Theory was Vince's baby. And he was like, oh,
he was pushing him.
You're the next John Cena, pal. And
then, Baron Corbin was pretty bad, too.
That was funny, though.
Yeah, it was.
That was funny, though. Because, okay, I know Baron Corbin's better now, but he sucked back then. Did he deserve it? Probably not, but he sucked back then.
Yeah. Cena's just like, nope. Splat.
Oh, I love it. Well, cool. Yeah, that's some cool history. Cool walk down Money in the Bank memory lane. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to. I should probably watch a couple matches. I've got the Peacock now, so I probably should be watching a couple of the like main matches on the PLEs, whatever that is.
Go. You got it right. Thank you.
Yeah, don't even watch full pay-per-views. Just like find matches you think are cool. Like one I always go back to every now and then is still Mankind getting thrown off Hell in the Cell. Still unreal to watch.
Go back to any of the really good Undertaker streak matches. So like the 2 against Shawn Michaels, the 2 against Triple H, the one with CM Punk, the one with Orton, the one with Edge, the one with Batista. You could do I always love Eddie Gunther match, honestly. We haven't watched too much of him. So like the one at WrestleMania last year of him and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Oh, you'll think you're watching an AEW match.
Okay.
The chops, like
All I
you
need to
talk
hear.
about shotgun chops. In an
Yeah.
outdoor arena, you could still hear them clear as day.
Mm-hmm. Those men killed each other, and I loved every second of it.
Awesome. Okay.
And if you want a good women's match, also at last year's WrestleMania, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair was a banger. Like, I think I think there should be 3 5-star matches from that Mania, and that should be the third because that match was so good. And it was also like the what do you call it? Like I'm drawing a blank, but it was the start of a great new champion in Rhea Ripley. I mean, she held that title from Mania to Mania, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, yeah, there's just so much wrestling out there to like enjoy, and like it's kind of like music. Like you can just go back and like all these different eras, and like it's never ending, and it just keeps building from like right now to the future. Like it's so cool to just have that, history. And yeah, I want to figure out how to watch old like New Japan stuff too. All Japan, like it's probably a lot of that'll be on YouTube. But yeah, there's a lot out there that I'd really like to learn about and watch. But yeah, cool. We will have our Collision review probably popping up around Tuesday-ish.
Or would that be predictions? Or is that the one after?
Oh, yes. We are foregoing Collision. Thank you, Chad.
Haha, I did a thing.
Yes, you did good. I'm still gonna watch Collision. Or no, are we a whole? Are we a week early on that? No,
it's
that's
a
perfect.
week from Sunday.
Yep,
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's do that for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Collision regardless. After that weird hiccup a few weeks ago with the shitty episode, they've really come into their own and brought it back from the dead. So yeah, I'll be enjoying that. But yeah, we'll do our predictions for Forbidden Door. That sounds fun. Yeah, maybe we'll have all the matches announced, maybe some of the pre-show stuff, and yeah, that'll be great. Wow, cool. Already another pay-per-view.
Right?
Neat. Just feel like we just had one. Yeah, I'm enjoying the AEW pay-per-views being so close together now.
Yeah. Quarterly was a challenge.
Yeah, man, to keep the attention and build stories, and yeah, it just was a different pace that didn't quite work.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, unless you guys have anything to add, thank you everyone in YouTube world. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chandler.
Thank you, Dave.
Another fun episode, and yeah, I think that just about does it. We'll be coming at you with a Forbidden Door 2024 prediction, probably Tuesday. Cool. Well, I'm gonna do the thing now.
Ooh.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye-bye.